Hello, beautiful. Welcome back to your mat. Welcome back to this opportunity to be with yourself, to be with your body, to be with your being, to be with that essence of who you are. This practice is just going to be all about winding us down, preparing us for rest. A huge element of this is actually about finding those poses that allow the mind to move below the heart, to slow down that blood flow, to quiet the thoughts, to quiet the mind, and to be in this present moment together. So wherever you are, find a comfortable seat to start. Remove that excess flesh from the sit bones. Root into the earth below you. And just take a few breaths here before anything else. Just breathe into this space. Maybe close down those eyes. Breathing into the body. And focus on that breath. Focus on the breath as the thoughts try to pull you away. Come back to the breath. Come back to the breath without judgment, without criticism, with love. Just return with love, time after time after time. That is the practice of life. No matter what is happening, no matter what takes place, return with love to you, to your breath, to your truth, to your essence. And then maintaining that steady breath on your next inhale. Let's inhale the hands to the heart center. And set an intention for your practice this evening. It could simply be to prepare the body for a restful, rejuvenating sleep. It could be to be with your breath. Whatever it is, embody it now. And with that embodiment, very gently bow down to that God being within you, within all things. Inhale back to center. And on an exhale, release those hands down to the knees. And we're going to start our practice in a Baddha Konasana today. So bring the soles of those feet together. Let those knees fall open nice and wide. Wrap the fingers around the toes. And on an inhale, lift that heart high. And on an exhale, extend through the heart forward. And just stay with that breath. Stay in the present moment. Continue to quiet the mind. Maybe listening in to that gentle music as we stay aware of our breath. If it feels right, you can release the hands, walk them forward, or stay in the feet. 2 more breaths. And then your inhale engages the core as we lift back to center. Lift up those knees. We're going to bring the legs around behind us, and we're going to come into a wide-legged child's pose. So the knees are coming to the outside of the mat. Those big toes are coming to touch, and those sit bones are lowering down onto those heels. Walk those hands out in front of us as we release the forehead towards the mat. And really settling in here. Stay with that steady breath. If any of those thoughts come in, just let them pass through. One more breath. And on an inhale, we're going to inhale, lift that weight forward, tuck those toes, lift those sit bones up high. Coming into that downward facing dog. So really allowing that head to lower below the heart here. Maybe paddling those legs out if you want to, breathing into the back of those legs, those hamstrings. Press those hands into the mat, push the mat away, lengthen the spine. And on an inhale, we're going to inhale that left leg up to the sky. Bend the knee and rotate that left hip over the right so that foot kind of falls off to the right side now, but keep the shoulders square here. And then inhale back to a straight leg. And on that exhale, we're going to bring that leg forward. Release that foot between the hands, coming into a low lunge here. So make sure that this knee is right over the ankle. And on an inhale, just inhale, pull the heart through, and breathe into the front of this hip here, this psoas muscle. Steady breath. One more breath. And then we're going to come into a pigeon, but shift the weight back a little first. And then bring that foot towards that right wrist. Lower down onto that back knee. Release the back toes. And kind of walk that back leg out here. And really focus on pulling that left hip back and that right hip forward. So we're trying to square the hips here. And I want you to start with that chest up high for just a few breaths. Breathing into that psoas a little bit more, into that left hip. Steady breath. And then as you feel ready, if you want to, you can lower down onto those forearms. Depending on the space that you have in the hip, you might be able to come all the way down onto the earth. Just settling in wherever it feels comfortable for you. We're going to be here for a few breaths. Continuing with that deep breath. This is an important pose to practice before we go to rest because it opens our hips. So any of those emotions that we've held in the body throughout the day are given the opportunity to be released here, so we don't bring them into our rest and then essentially bring them into the following day. So just let them go. Just breathe into the release here. Two more breaths. And then if you're in that sleeping pigeon, we're going to lift back up here onto the hands. Root those fingers, tuck the back toe, and we're going to just lift back up here. Bringing that leg back behind us. Open that hip one more time. And then release it down onto the earth. Come back into that downward facing dog. Just a few breaths here. Press into the mat, lengthen the spine. Breathe deep. And then your inhale. Inhale's right leg high. Open that hip, stack that hip, let the knee fall over. Don't really twist open in the shoulders here. Those shoulders stay rooted. Inhale, straighten that leg. And then slow and control, bring that foot forward. Releasing down into that low lunge. That knee is right over that ankle. Press through that back heel, and on an inhale, pull that heart through. Stay with the breath. Breathe into that psoas muscle on the left side. Stay with that steady breath. Stay with that intention that you set. Beautiful. 2 more breaths. And then just like we did on the other side, we're going to come into that pigeon. So walk that left foot over towards that left wrist. Lower onto that back knee. Release those toes. And let's start by really lifting that heart up. Breathe into that psoas muscle. Breathe into the right hip as well. Stay with that breath. Quiet the mind. Train the mind to focus on the breath and to be in the present. as you feel ready, if you'd like to lower down into that sleeping pigeon. Breathing in there. And if you have the space, you can come all the way down onto your mat. But finding a position that allows you to rest here. So we don't want to be extremely active before bedtime. We're slowing down, we're learning to release and to just be in the moment. Continuing to breathe into the release here. Just a few more breaths. And as you feel ready, if you're in that sleeping pigeon, lifting back up. But wherever you are, rooting those hands, tucking that back toe, slowly lifting that right leg back high, opening that hip, and then releasing it down into that downward facing dog. Settling here for a few breaths. And then we're going to walk those feet forward, releasing down into a forward fold. Gentle bend in those knees. So again, bringing that mind below the heart, allowing it to slow down. And if those thoughts are still arising, imagine that the top of the head is open and we're just allowing those thoughts to just fall out of us into the earth below. You want to bring the hands into a rag doll. Or if you want to open those shoulders and clasp behind the back and let the hands fall over the head. Wherever you are, make sure there's a bit of ease to it, not force. few more breaths. And then you can take the hands to the mat. And we're going to walk those feet out wide so the toes are pointed out towards the edge of the mat and the heels are pointed in. Bend the knees, bring those sit bones down. Really let the body come down towards the earth here. Bring the hands to the heart. Elbows gently pressing into those knees, opening those hips. Pull the heart through, just a few breaths here. Slow, steady breath. Be in the moment. And then we're going to take the hands behind us as we gently release down onto our bottom here. Soles of the feet come to touch. So back into that Baddha Konasana. Feel into those hips. And then we're going to take the hands and we're going to lower our body down. So we're coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. So we're going to be on our back for this pose. Let those knees fall wide. Settling in here. The hands can be at the side or maybe one on the heart, one on the belly. Just slow everything down. Be in the present moment. Couple more breaths. And then that next inhale brings the knees towards the sky. And if you have a wall nearby, you can go ahead and come to the wall. So we'll do legs at the wall, or you can just extend those legs just straight up towards the sky. I'm gonna just turn here and actually rest on this pole. Wherever you are, just extending those legs up tall. Just a few breaths here as we allow the blood flow in the legs to change direction now, so that during our sleep, our legs can actually rest with this new fresh blood that allows just natural circulation here. Stay with that breath. With the quietness of that mind. Two more breaths here. And then bringing those legs down, coming back onto our backs. Let's extend the left leg long. Shift those hips over to the right just a little bit. Bring that right knee into the chest, hug it into the chest for a breath. And then we're gonna move into that supine twist. So bringing that leg across the body over to the left. Root those shoulders, that's the most important part. So if you have to come out of your twist to root the shoulders, I want you to do that. Just settling in here for a few breaths. One more breath. And then your inhale. Inhale that right leg back up to center. Hug it into the chest. And then extend it out long. Switching sides, so shift those hips over to the left just a little bit now. Hug that left knee into the chest. Breathing in here. And then bringing that leg across the body over to the right. Extend that left arm long. Root those shoulders. And then settle in here. Just let everything go. Let yourself be here with the breath. Stay with the breath, just a few more. And then on an inhale, engage that core. Inhale back up to center. Square those hips to the center of the mat. Pull both those knees in. Gentle rock left to right. And then we're going to extend those legs out long, moving into Shavasana here. Open those hips wide. Bring those shoulder blades under the body. Palms are facing up. As we just let everything go here. Releasing any of those thoughts that might still be coming through. Even releasing that beautiful breath. Releasing all of the muscles in the body. Knowing that you are safe, you are supported, you are held. And in this moment, you can simply let go. Slowly start to deepen the breath. Bringing in some gentle movement of fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. And as you feel ready, extend those arms above the head, full body stretch, fingers to toes. And then I want you to roll to your left side, the feminine side. The left side is connected to the moon energy, to Luna. So just breathing into that feminine side, breathing into that moon, that calmness, that peacefulness. And then slowly make your way back to that seat, back to that nice tall spine, and that steady breath. Inhaling, hands to the heart. Embodying your intention one more time. And with these hands at a place of balance in front of the heart, inhale your hands to your third eye center. Bringing balance to your point of clarity. And then exhale, hands to the lips. Bringing balance to your words and balance to your truth. And then exhale back to the heart. Balance to your love and balance to your heart. And from this place of balance within me, I recognize, honor, and appreciate the teacher, the light, and the divine within each of you and all things. Namaste. Stay beautiful and enjoy your rest tonight.